Admiral Cook, with respect to your rules regarding the notice of arrival, could you tell me, I had sent a letter over to the Coast Guard concerning the notice of arrival, and a lot of my supply vessel owners are having difficulty trying to understand exactly what the official position is, I guess, of the Coast Guard. You know, y'all do a tremendous job down in Louisiana in regulating our offshore supply vessel industry. They always have compliments for y'all. And it seems from the correspondence that I've gotten back and forth from y'all and from industry that this is an issue that y'all agree that is an unnecessary burden to the industry. And so I was wondering how you can take the step forward in showing the rest of these agencies around this city how you can take a regulation that is causing industry some pain, causing you some pain, and just clearing it out once and for all. Could you update me on that?
Congressman, well, first off, the Safe Port Act required us to institute the notice of arrival on the Outer Continental Shelf, consistent with other notice of arrival requirements that we have. So we went through the standard rulemaking process, and we did not receive any adverse comments to that docket. So we anticipated that the offshore industry would be ready for that. And the reason that the Coast Guard looks at the rulemaking as a benefit is it provides safety and security situational awareness for us, or maritime domain awareness out on the Outer Continental Shelf. But since the rule was published, the Offshore Marine Safety Association, OMSA, came to us and asked us to reconsider different ways we could implement it that wouldn't be burdensome to them, but we also provide us the additional maritime domain awareness that we think is important, both from a safety and security standpoint. So we're working currently with OMSA to do that.
Well, how did you go from regulating foreign vessels to become a regulation against domestic vessels as well? It seems to me from the discussions that I've had, the way the regulation is set up, it's nearly impossible for our industry down in the Gulf to comply with, because they're going back and forth so often.
Well, Congressman, the U.S. flag vessels are exempt if they're leaving Port Fourchon and going out to work in a block and then coming back. There's no reporting required then, but there is a reporting required when they go from block to block, and I think that's the point at which the industry is saying they can't anticipate those moves. But the legal fundamentals were there to bring in other OSVs and MODUs in order to accomplish the full visibility.
Mr.
Landry, the only thing I would add to that is that the Safe Port Act requirement was to complete the rulemaking, and it did specify foreign vessels. The way we looked at that was that these notice of arrival provisions had to fit within the fabric of the notice of arrival regulations that we had at the time, because again, in terms of protecting maritime security as well as marine safety, we need to have full maritime domain awareness. And so we're relying not just on the Safe Port Act provision, but on our pre-existing Ports Waterways Safety Act provisions that are the support for the pre-existing notice of arrival regulations. So bottom line is that we were working on our pre-existing legal authorities to develop a notice of arrival scheme that would work across the board.
Well, and I'm getting ready to run out, but how are we going to fix this problem? Because my mariners, I think have always upheld themselves to work very well with the Coast Guard, and they're just saying this is simply something that they can't comply with, and I agree. I understand the traffic on the Gulf of Mexico amongst those offshore supply vessels is heavy. I mean, it is outstanding, and so I really wish we'd bring this thing to a head so that we can just continue to move forward in in the work that they have to do down there without having to worry on an unburdensome regulation that no one can comply with and you can't enforce.
Congressman, just commit that we're going to continue to work with AMSA, and we have a formal partnership, and we have a charter for this particular group. So it's recognized on both sides as an issue that needs to be resolved.
Okay, thank you.